The Silent Climber. In a small mountain village nestled at the base of a towering peak lived a young man named Armin. The mountain, with its snow-capped summit piercing the heavens, was a constant presence in his life. People in the village spoke of it with reverence and fear, claiming it was cursed. No one had ever reached the summit, and many who tried had perished. From a young age, Armin was mesmerized by the mountain. While others saw danger, he saw a challenge. He would often sit on a rock at the edge of the village, staring at the peak, dreaming of the day he would conquer it. But his dream was not one he shared openly. Armin had learned a harsh lesson early in life: not everyone wishes you well. As a child, he had once excitedly shared a dream of building a garden in his barren backyard. The neighbors laughed, his friends doubted him, and even his family dismissed the idea as silly. Their words planted seeds of doubt in his heart, and the garden never came to be. Since then, Armin resolved to keep his dreams to himself. When he finally decided to climb the mountain, he told no one. He quietly prepared, gathering supplies bit by bit, working odd jobs to save money for the equipment he needed. At night, he studied maps and weather patterns by the dim light of a candle. He trained in secret, running through the woods and climbing smaller hills to build his strength. The villagers noticed his newfound strength and the gear he was collecting, and they began to gossip. "What's Armin up to?" they wondered. Some speculated he was leaving the village, while others joked he was preparing for some ridiculous adventure. Armin never confirmed or denied their theories. He simply smiled and carried on. One crisp morning, when the village was still asleep, Armin set off. The climb was grueling. The air grew thinner with each step, and the cold bit into his skin. There were moments when he wanted to turn back, moments when fear and exhaustion whispered that the villagers had been right, that this was a fool's errand. But he pressed on, fueled by the fire of his unspoken dream. Days turned into weeks. Armin faced avalanches, icy winds, and treacherous cliffs. He learned to adapt, to push his limits, and to trust himself. With every step, he felt closer to his goal and further away from the doubts of the world. Finally, one glorious morning, Armin reached the summit. As he stood at the top, with the world sprawled out below him, tears streamed down his face. The view was breathtaking, but the victory was even sweeter because it was his and his alone. No one's doubts had tainted it, no one's negativity had weighed him down. When Armin returned to the village weeks later, the people were stunned. His sun-kissed face and the glint of triumph in his eyes told them all they needed to know. Whispers spread like wildfire. Armin climbed the mountain. They bombarded him with questions. How did he do it? Why didn't he tell anyone? Wasn't he afraid? Armin simply smiled and said, "Sometimes, it's better to let your actions speak. Dreams are fragile, and the world can be harsh. Protect them until they're strong enough to stand on their own." From that day on, Armin became a legend in the village. People looked at the mountain differently, not as a symbol of fear, but as a reminder of what was possible with quiet determination. And Armin, he continued to dream, silently and steadfastly, knowing that the greatest achievements are often born in silence. Moral of the story: not everyone will understand your vision, and not everyone needs to. Let your actions be your voice. Protect your dreams from the noise of the world, and when the time is right, let your success speak for itself.